Hey guys, going live again for another segment of the Power of Positive Thinking, which, I'll just summarize again in case you're new to this series. I read the book, The Power of Positive Thinking by Dr. Norman Vincent Peale a few months ago. I thought it was really excellent. There was a lot of actionable advice. And rather than try to do everything at once, which would be kind of impossible, I decided to break it up into weekly segments where I would take one piece of actionable advice and I would follow that for the week. I would make that my mission to think about for the week and share with you in this live. So it kind of holds me accountable and it gives you the option of following along with me, should you so choose. So for this week, I'll read the passage here. It says, while writing this chapter, I enjoyed a visit with an old and dear friend, Dr. John W. Hoffman, one-time president of Ohio Wesleyan University. And keep in mind, this is from, I don't know what the year was, but this is from a long time ago when I think the universities were a lot different than they are now. If you know my thoughts on university. Anyway, back to the text. As I sat with him in Pasadena, I realized once again how much this great personality has always meant to me. Many years ago, on the night before my graduation from college, we had a banquet at our fraternity house at which he was present and made a speech. After dinner, he asked me to walk with him to the president's house. It was a beautiful moonlit night in June. All the way up the hill, he talked to me about life and its opportunities and told me what a thrill awaited me as I entered the outside world. As we stood in front of his house, he put his hand on my shoulder and said, Norman, I have always liked you. I believe in you. You have great possibilities. I shall always be proud of you. You have got it in you. Of course, he overestimated me, but that is infinitely better than to depreciate a person. It being June and the night before graduation and excitement being in my heart, my sentiments were pretty close to the surface, and I said goodnight to him through a mist of tears which I tried to conceal. It has been many years since then, but I never forget what he said nor how he said it on that June night long ago. I have loved him all across the years. I discovered that he made similar statements to many other boys and girls long since become men and women, and they too love him because he respected their personalities and was constantly building them up. Through the years, he would write to me and to others congratulating us on some little things that we had done, and a word of appreciation, or a word of approval rather, from him meant much. Little wonder this honored guide of youth has the affection and devotion of thousands of people whose lives he touched. Whomever you help to build up to become a better, stronger, finer person will give you his undying devotion. Build up as many people as you can. Do it unselfishly. Do it because you like them and because you see possibilities in them. Do this and you will never lack for friends. You will always be well thought of. Build people up and love them genuinely. Do them good, and their esteem and affection will flow back towards you. So I really like this. There's two kind of comments I want to make on this, is that every one of us is at some point in our spiritual journey, right? Where none of us has made it yet, and we're all at different points, and some people are farther than others, and it's very tempting to see somebody who does something that annoys you or something that bothers you, or someone is lacking in some way, and to judge that person and to have disdain for that person. But wouldn't it be more helpful if you could help build that person up, if you could help that person to take the next step, to get a little bit better? Because we are all on the same journey, and having disdain for people. And again, this is me telling myself this because this is something I need to work on. If you look down on people because they're not at the same point than you are, that's really, really not productive in any way, when in fact, there's probably something you could do to build that person up and help that person get to the next step. And there's probably a lot of things that you could notice that are good about that person rather than noticing their faults or their shortcomings. And then the second thing is that if you want to be loved, if you want to be respected, if you want people to like you, if you want to have an easy time going through life, it's really not that difficult. This is something that people that are self-conscious have such a hard time with. They are desperate to be loved, to be liked, to be accepted. And the reason for that is because, and usually they don't do a very good job of it. And the reason for that is because they're focused on themselves. I mean, that's the word, self-conscious. They are conscious of themselves. If you can tear your consciousness away from yourself, if you can tear your attention away from yourself, focus on other people, and just have the frame of mind of how can I build someone else up? How can I make someone else's day a little bit better? How can I help somebody else take the next step in their journey of life? If you can focus on other people like that, then they will love you for it. There's not a lot of people that do this. And when you come across somebody who does this, like the professor in the story, it leaves an impression. You could be that person. You could be that professor. And you know what? You don't need any kind of qualification for it. You don't need any special degree or certification. You don't need to be rich or good looking or powerful or anything. Really, if you just build people up, and focus on how you can make somebody else's day just a little bit better, then you can be the most popular person around. You can be the most highly esteemed person in a lot of people's lives. So if you've ever wanted to get more love, if you ever wanted to get more respect, then give it first. That's it. That's the answer. That'll do it for you. So that's it for tonight. That is going to be my mission for the next week, is to, particularly whenever I'm in an interaction with anybody, I'm going to be trying to build them up, try to make their life just a little bit better. So have a great week, everybody. You guys are awesome. See, I'm building you up already. And I'll see you next week.